Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. This week, Midweek Magic is going to have us popping off with what might be my favorite format for Midweek Magic, Historic Pauper. Did a video this week on, right here actually, on YouTube. And that actually does a very light, easy deck tech for 3 different decks that are kind of foundational decks for the Historic Pauper format. That covers Mono Red Burn, the Mono Black Colonial deck based around Rat Colony, and of course the ubiquitous Mono White Life Gain. And in fact, the deck that I posted, I tweaked a little bit to keep it a little more budget friendly, and it is an Orzhov Life build. With all that out there for you, if you haven't seen it already, definitely check that out. There's no reason to have to spend an unusual number of wild cards to do this event this week. And in fact, I think if you do the Mono White Life Gain, you don't have to do any at all. But of course, everyone's collection varies to some degree, and whether you want to invest in a Historic Pauper deck or not is certainly a personal decision. Right now I'm in my primary account, and we're going to start the event here and go through, do some live play, so we can find out, do these decks actually work? Because, you know, that's important. And on this account we're going to use the Mr. Burns, or Mono Red Burn, and we're going to get right up into it here. Like I said, if you want a simple, easy deck tech, check out that other video right here on YouTube. Let me turn down that audio just a little bit. It was a little much. All right, here. So we got some decent stuff here. I think we can roll with this. Boom. Mount 10. Yep, they're on a very similar game plan here, no doubt about it. This is somebody who's been playing the deck a little bit longer than this build would demonstrate. They're using some of those older cards that were available in Standard up to last year. Get things going here. Another great card for this deck. I'm actually kind of glad we got the mirror match with some of the other card offerings. Just slowly dealing damage to the face and all that. Next turn we can go 4 to the face plus the Unruly Catapult damage. See, the bad thing about like Killing Fiend is it's a 2 damage. Unruly Catapult obviously is 4. So it plays defensively pretty nice. being aggressive with his creatures, because that's his win con, plain and simple. I think we just pass here. That Flame Lash is much more valuable to us next turn. Sure. It's unfortunate. You can't tap it here. Sure. Yes, indeed. Well, here I was thinking we were far enough ahead, but they seem to have come back because we've had to let them keep creatures. That seems to have solved itself temporarily, at least. Sure. Great cantrip, even though it doesn't actually affect the board space. Well, we're almost there for game one. It's a slow, grindy deck, but it does usually get there. Case in point. So now the question is, what do we get for that? And ladies and gentlemen, we are about to find out right about now. I mean, okay, a rare dual land, that's not bad. For, what was that, like maybe 5-10 minutes of work total? Not bad at all. Now this time around, I would like to see something other than the mirror match, but we'll see what happens. Mono red very often gets the mirror match. I think we keep. I don't think the shock is worth doing here. I'd much rather bobble. And have shock open in case they, you know, do a thing. Like that. That's one of those key life gain cards that we talked about. And we're going to say bye-bye. See, that would be so much more life if they had kept that. I'm gonna pass turn here. This way, if they swing, we can block by lightning striking in response. We're not to that point yet. Okay, so we pass, state one blocker, now we activate. This is a hard matchup against the life gain deck, it really is. Not sure why you did that, but and this is why Demand Answers is in here. That Unruly Catapult is not much good to us now. So we're going to sacrifice it to draw some cards. I think we keep this for something bigger, right? Like, we don't want to take out a token with that. We got some life to spend. And I mean, technically, that is bigger. Thin our deck out. By the way, Terramorphic Expanse has been confirmed for Duskmourn, if anyone is unaware. I think we just hold that Rumbling Rock Slide. I don't know, it feels silly, but at the same time. Oh, I can't tap it this turn, never mind. Duh. That was vicious. Just unnecessary, honestly. No, it was a good play by them. Ow. I got poked. Well, that's why there's only one of this in the deck, because sometimes you run into the issue of not having cards in hand. Ow. Poked. Do they play something? He did not. That's interesting. See if they have any removal left in their hand at this point. Well, they got more life gain players. Man, what a bummer. But that is a triggered ability, not an activated ability. So that's not too terrible. I think I gotta take out the life gain piece, unfortunately. Oh no! Should have gone to the dome. I don't think we're winning this one. They've gotten too well established with the life gain. I think we just move on. That is by far one of the toughest matchups for mono red burn. So we'll go to game 3 here. Wow, that is not a lot of land. I think we got a mulligan that. Okay, that's a little better. And we throw back the flip the coin. It's one of the weaker cards. Any mountain will do. So we got lightning strike up if we need it. Do I want to just straight up kill that? I think I do. We just get set up here. Just gonna take the one. There's way too much chance they can activate on this. Yeah. Okay, that was a pretty productive turn. Sure. I think we just let him have it. And that's why we let him have it. Man, this is going to be a tight one. Nope. No, it's not. They just decidedly won it. That Adrenaline Rush is a good card. Hey, I'm glad you made it too. I don't love this hand, but I'm gonna keep it, just, you know, science. Blue fairies, indeed. So I really want to be able to get the catapult down next turn, so we're gonna sacrifice this turn to make sure we have 3 next turn. Or 3 untapped, I guess I should say. Because we are very light on land. Fairies with the card draw, indeed. Sadly, my blockers don't really help against the mono blue fairies deck, but... just because I have the opportunity to do it for so little now. We actually had a counter spell. Interesting. Kind of a bummer, but okay. So much card draw. Hate that they countered that because I was really wanting the card draw. Yes, those are typically times where I am playing Midweek Magic on either YouTube or Twitch. Wormhole Drifter. Yeah, I think we're gonna die here, kids. Alright, let's try and have a nice explosive turn. Well, so much for that. Did my guy untap like that? Did you see that, my guy? Your bind the monster does not work near as well as you wanted it to. Let me guess, you're going to attack for 2. I am not at all surprised. Ninjutsu, sure. Okay, this is reached the point of absurdity. Oh yeah, UW Auras is a very nice deck. Certainly one that would be easier to build probably after Dustmourne comes out, as far as, you know, it being really budget friendly. But yeah, it's a great deck. Don't love this. I really don't. Do I want to give up card for it though? I'm gonna say no. I think there's better things to do with our shock. So we'll hold up Lightning Strike here, or maybe Shock Skewer the Critics, depending upon what they do. What the hell? Why didn't he give me a second main? Oh, it was their turn. Never mind. That was just silliness. Silly, silly, silly. So we kind of lost our spell efficiency here. Do I want to attack? Yeah, we'll attack. Beastie boy. Oh, I wouldn't be too worried about not having started yet. Most people don't play midweek until the second day. Sure. That kind of ruins my turn, sadly. I mean, I guess we just try and race at this point. That does not help racing, but at least he only gets it the one turn. We're going to be awfully close here if we can draw some land. You have a blood token. Man, we are just not hitting it. Ouch. Combo. Okay, draw land. Ooh. Well, I mean, I guess technically we did draw land. But I think we just die. If that had been untapped, we could have played the Pyromancer and been defensive. Yep, we just died. Hey man, that's what I'm here for, is people that are new, don't have a large card pool. Any one of these decks, particularly the life gain version, you could probably play it from your starter collection. That was kind of the goal on all of these decks, was to make them as accessible as possible. I mean, okay, this isn't terrible. I think that's a card I don't really want to race. Go grab the mountain, keep the lightning strike up. In case they play something dangerous. Like, that was going to be problematic. Yes, all of those decks are over in Aetherhub. We don't have the removal this time. Oh no! I'm sad. Man, I don't like this at all. Fortunately, I just got a pass turn here. Yep, I'm just going to call this one. Let's move to the next game. This sinister one with hugs. Interesting. Let's see what the speed. Want to have that shock open just in case they do something scary here. They did not. That's awesome. So now we'll play the Evolving Wilds, crack that, so I don't accidentally forget or something. Yeah, let's just go ahead and say goodbye to that. It's funny how many of the decks that I wrote about being cornerstones have shown up tonight. Like, I don't think we've seen a deck that wasn't. He might get me with a hasty boy here, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Oh, if I said right about it, I'm sorry. I definitely misspoke there. It's published in the YouTube video here on the main channel. And then I have the deck lists set up over on Aetherhub. I sometimes write deck reports there as well, but this time I did not. See if we can trade up on our cards. Hey, I think we kind of did. We're going to pass this here. I don't mind if they play one. I really don't want them to play two. Okay. Gonna be quite close here. But I mean, honestly, we haven't taken any damage, so we can take a couple of things of Rat Colony. I hate that we lost that Abrade. I wanted that. Man, that was not what we needed at all. Yeah, this could just be it here. So we're taking the risk here that they don't have a shock in hand, but that did not do it. We are dead to the rat colony. Wow, actually something to do on turn one. Isn't that interesting? You know what? I can attack two. Well, not anymore, but you know, it was fun while it lasted. We just got beat on that one. That was just terrible. Sure, we'll try this. Really? So this already feels like a nope. Yep, we're just gonna hang that one up. They're running the really good life gain deck with probably a full boat of Soul Wardens. And hey, the more you play, the less you will feel that way. Like I said at the beginning, Pauper is one of my favorite formats, so I kind of know the matchups I can win and the ones I can't. So when something is very early not going my way, I'm totally okay with hanging that up. Flyer, okay. Oh boy. Okay, so we gotta do that, and we gotta do that. That is a problem. Oh man, we just cannot draw land when we need it there. This deck is very tight on land, only running 20, but we really should not have had a problem hitting 4 there by, what was that, turn 5? Oh well. See if we can get there. Yeah, 1 and 5 is not a great place to be. Hell, this is interesting. Double Death Toucher, so I can't really block them. We did draw the land, however, so that's something. Oh, I meant to play the Kindle Spark. Darn. Well, that was at least a decent turn. What are they going to do with all that mana? That's problematic. The life gain probably just bought them the game. So I think we're dead pretty much any way you cut this. The only chance we have is to draw an untapped land for Flame Lash. And if they have any form of combat trick, we're roasted. they're looking at their hand, so I think they got something here. Yep. Alright, so 1 and 6 on this deck. That's been fairly terrible. So it's a core deck, but this version would need some upgrades and improvements beyond what I did in the initial build. But what we're going to do for right now is I'm going to burn this deck with fire and never look at that again. But I am going to grab the Colonial. I think that gets it playable. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if we can finish out this midweek magic with the good old Colonial. This deck, of course, is built around Rat Colony, common that once you own 4 copies of it on Arena, you can put as many copies of it as you want in a deck. So for this version, we are running, I think, 21 copies, and we just did not draw land, so we're gonna mulligan that bad boy. This is still not great, but it is doable. I think we throw the Faceless Agent there. Sure. Do I want to slow roll the Rat Colony? Yeah, and in Brawl, you usually run something like 38 copies. It's pretty crazy. So we will match their Death Toucher with a Death Toucher or 2. Typically the max is 4, but if you look here on Rat Colony, the stats on the card itself, a deck may have any number of cards named Rat Colony. So you kind of get around that particular rule. So maybe they get aggressive here and swing. Well, that's unfortunate. It's alright, we can kill creatures too. Yeah, there's also another black card that lets you summon demons that you can have any number of. That's pretty cool. Really do hate to use removal on that. Man, we just can't attack here. Darn darn. And that Hobbling Zombie is just a ridiculously good defense. sure. It's like an uphill battle here. And life gain. Yep, thanks. That was fun. I think Gast is a universally good card. Oh, dang it. I did not meant to press mulligan there. We're just gonna call that a do-over. Okay. I don't hate this. I wish I had a few more rats in my hand, but... hate having to turn one Vajuka Bog, but... oh, my life. I apparently have not been living right this week. Well, at least we got murders. I dare you to play a creature. Hey, look at that. We might be able to attack for 2 next turn. By golly, we have lived the dream. We have attacked for 2. Yeah, they actually recently said in one of the panels at, I think it was PAX West, that that's very unlikely, that they really have no intention of opening up a permanent Pauper queue, which I think is a little sad, but... you have been murdered. Oh my god, it's working! It's working! It's doing the thing! You have a tapped Power Stone, sir. Of course you did. And we're set up for the murder. And yeah, that's about right. When you're playing Rat Colony, you just keep swinging rats. Sure. Pop. Play the line breaker for a little extra damage here. Just concede. It's okay. I have had to do it tonight as well. Okay, if you want to play this out, I understand where you're coming from. Oh, we got there with the double Rat Colony draw. Literally did the exact same amount of damage, but we're just set up so much better right now. Unless they have, like, what is that, 1 damage to everything on the board? That would suck. Big guy. But DT is not enough. There we go. We got there. Yeah, I had fun with that. I have no idea what card they're asking about, but... Alright, what do we get? Because this actually was effort this time around. Throwing the Grim Captain. Fantastic. I will probably literally never play that. But pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. He is going to do game-related shenanigans and switch this up. Yeah, I mean, hey, I respect it. He tried to play it out for sure. And I think we're going to do a little bit more Rat Colony here on this account. I think that's how I had these set up. Yeah, that's true. He did pop that off really early, but I mean, that's such a tight judgment call, to be honest. Wait, let me go back and look at my actual. Nope. Okay, those are fine. Yeah. All right. I hate that it put this on this box. I have no idea why, and I literally haven't been able to go in and change it. But I mean, okay, we're the armadillo rat deck. What can I do? Yes, and you know what's funny is when that card was first previewed, I was actually kind of excited about it, and well, I was wrong. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we keep this, right? Typhoid rat on one. I currently am running 3 accounts. That's pretty typical. And one of those is my primary. One is an account that I started about rotation last year. And then another account that I started just before rotation this year. And that's so I can keep in touch with what new players like yourself are going through, because I have an account that is in a very similar situation. That I have an account that has been played for about a year. And then my primary account, I think this is the 6th year on Arena. Yeah, I know, crazy, not going for the rat out right away. Doing this just to get the rat, because the combat actually isn't going to make a difference at all. So willing to sacrifice here because the Voracious Vermin will get the counter. And if I draw the rat colony, I'm set up to double colony. Okay, they're going to come in. So they must have something to play on the second main. And I think I'm just going to block here with the Chumpalicious token. Sure. Hey, look at that, we got a rat colony. Who'd you guess? Well, that's unfortunate. It probably won't swing here, no, okay. I guess the good news is we got them to burn their removal before we double colony. Lucy, I'm home. So they really can't afford to swing here unless they have removal in hand. They does have some removal. Alright, let's see what we draw. Oh, they're going to be aggressive. Interesting. Yeah, that's a big no block for me, thanks. We draw the land. How unfortunate. Alright, so I'm going to swing here. They're going to block the rat colony as a chump, obviously. But we're still going to hit through for 6 damage here, which is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and play the swamp because I don't really care. If they know this deck, they know it doesn't really play trick, so. Now we're beginning to have problems. Gonna say no attacks here, stay defensive. They really can't swing. Did they? No, they did not figure out that they cannot really swing. Alright, so... Yep. So they need to affect the board state here. We might just lose to a combat trick. You never can tell. He must have a creature to play. He has the overrun. Yeah. Alright, well, lose to the combat trick. That is how it goes sometimes. Wah, 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 wah. A filthy nobleman. Indeed. Technically, I think they were all kind of filthy, but, you know. Actually worked out pretty well there. I should have let him declare attackers or get to the end step before doing that, but it is what it is. Did not want to see a second one of those. They swung the first one, so that's not terrible. If we draw the land, we're set up for double colony. Can we race the poison deck? He's problematic. Well, we did not get the double colony. Sure. Sadly, we don't get the dies trigger. But we know there's no combat trick there, so... Man, like, where is my land to be able to start double colony? Well, I gotta swing. It's a race against the poison clock. The count to 10. So I gotta do this. Okay. Okay, we 2-for-1'd him there. So, I mean, like, he saved his creature, but at what cost? Good lord, could I have a 4th land? Pretty please. Yeah, that's actually something I try and encourage within the community to pay it forward. Like, if you had an easy time with midweek Magic, go in and start a couple games and just concede. Well, that's shucks darn. That's game. Because I'm going to block, the Blight Belly is going to give me the last. Yeah, we're out. Wah, 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 wah. And yeah, anyway, when people concede, I like to think that it finds the people that need the help. People that, you know, are just starting out, maybe they don't have strong decks, whatever the case may be. No scientific proof whatsoever that that's actually how it works, but that's what I like to think. Well, there's a card that didn't show up earlier. Alright. Cool. Where is my opponent? Yeah, you gotta love the nice easy wins. Tonight has not been the night for it, but when you start with these really basic, very accessible decks, they're not going to have the best win rates, you know, especially when you're going against some of these guys that have been on here 4 or 5 years and have pretty tuned lists available to them. Come on, opponent. Well, we might get the second win here just on the timeout. Nope. They're going to make us work for it. We still love them. Does he want to block? He did not. Okay. What do we got here? Highway robbery. You may discard a card or sacrifice a land. If you do, draw 2 cards. Do I want to? No, let's say no block. Hey, I'm very glad to hear that that worked well for you. Mono Red Burn is just one of those classics, you know? That, sir, is a highway robbery. Oh, he got me right in the colony. What is with this deck not wanting to give me 4 lands? I do not understand. Sure. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Hey, that is land. Okay, so he wants to hold his Epicure so that he can block the rat colony. So let's give him more problems to deal with. Oh my goodness. Sir, that is presenting lethal. See if he still feels aggressive. He does, look at that. Cause yeah, I can just keep throwing those 2 guys at you like all day, brother. Well, that hurt. Did not love that. Faithless looting in Pauper. It is available as a common. Alright, I've had enough of your shenanigans. We're gonna move on. Madness is an alternative casting cost that if you discard the card, you can pay the madness cost and cast it anyway. So you design the deck so you have a bunch of things that you benefit from discarding cards, and then you get to cast them for an often reduced madness cost, getting double duty out of the card. It's kind of an absurd value engine. But it's really only good in Pauper on Arena because so many cards from it are missing. Well, that's pretty strong if we can draw the manas. Can we has manas? The Plague Rat. Well, I guess technically there actually is a card called Plague Rat, isn't there? Life gain's a problem. It's similar to Delirium, yes. Delirium is more of like a triggered true-false ability, usually on creatures, as opposed to Madness which is an alternative casting cost. Sure. We are going to get their life total below 20. Golly, we just cannot win for losing here. Land. Need the land. And it's like they time walked their entire turn there. Okay, now I need to just draw a rat colony. That would be fantastic, and double up again. And they may not want to block with the Soul Warden, so we'll see how that actually works. Oh, but they got the Healer's Hog. Alright, well now I wish I had played it. I didn't expect them to take that. But they're just gonna try and drain me. Good gracious. Attack with the hawk. Yeah, I'm not surprised by this. Probably going to block here. We got more through than I expected to. They just have all the life gain. Thank you, no thank you. Yes, that is the beauty and tragedy that is Soul Warden, is it does care about both sides of the table. Our boy Typhoid. The turn one of choice. Okay. We'll get out there early. We'll see if this happens. Wow, okay. This is kind of bizarre. Okay, that one was on easy mode. Thank goodness we needed it. Yeah, Soul Warden will never be reprinted into Standard. Never, ever, ever. Ever, ever. And then once the world ends, it'll still be a week from Tuesday before they reprint it into Standard. Now, they might reprint it in something like a Modern Horizons set, It probably gets reprinted from time to time for commander decks and things like that. But yeah, it's never going to show up in standard. It's just too good. Hey, looky there, we got a mythic. Glissa, or excuse me, Gissa, not Glissa. It's a whole different Issa. Well, as you said, it doesn't seem fair, and it's not. It's an unbalanced 1-mana 1/1 common. Can you imagine having 2 or 3 of those in a game of limited? Like, that would just be redonkulous. Alright, let's lead off with the auto. Now, depending upon what version of blue they're running, we might just get a concession here. But this might be fairies that has a pretty good matchup. They're gonna impulse. All right. Well, red decks are unfair, if you would, because they're consistent and they're very basic. You know, I hate to say it, but it doesn't take a rocket science to run a red deck wins, and they have to print red-based removal, direct damage in every set. The Soul Sister, the Soul Warden, is unfair because it is not a properly balanced card. It would be like if they printed Lightning Bolt into Standard again, as opposed to Shock, or if they printed a 1 red mana direct damage spell to any target that dealt 5 damage. That card's just not balanced properly. Alright, they got a blocker. Nice. So we're going to lose one of our rats, but we're probably going to get through for 6 here. Next turn we get to double Colony. So as long as they don't play 2 creatures here. Oh, well, alright. I'm okay with bounce effects. Yeah, that's a really good analogy. Soul Warden is Luminarch Veteran on steroids. And not like the friendly roids. These are like selling them in the back alley behind the gym steroids. It's just, it's the really hard stuff. Here come the rats, boys. So they need 2 blockers to even stay in this game. Oh yeah, it was literally common in like alpha, beta, 3rd edition, 4th edition. And even those 4th edition ones, which are like the least desirable of the various pieces, are still going for like very serious money. Probably $2 to $3 for a common. Hey Blue Deck, how about you discard a card? It's a nice blocker you got there. Be a shame if something bad happened to it. You're gonna what? Okay. Better choices. All right, and you know, unless they can drop like 3 blockers. They're just going to try and draw answers here, but by the time they get one, they're not going to have any mana. That is very much dead. Man, come on, man! I was going to kill your dude. Why didn't you let me kill your dude? Alright, what do we get here? Spectre of Mortality, alright. pretty much a rare I do not care about at all. But that's okay. We still love it. And I tell you what, we're gonna do some backstage shenanigans here again, and I'm gonna switch over to account number 3 and play around with the life gain deck a little bit here, or at least like a very early option of the life gain. I'm not running the Soul Wardens and all that good stuff. Let me see here. How does this work? So many passwords. Oh yeah, the game in Pauper now is really absurd. I quit playing Pauper like 10 years ago, and I had a small collection that would probably be like the equivalent of having 4 or 5 commander decks at this point, as far as like the quantity of cards and the card quality. And I think I sold that for like $2,000 or $3,000 in cash, and that was 10 years ago. I at one point had a complete Power 9, and I sold that in 1998 for $3,000. And those cards I had not bought. Those all came to me as windfall cards. So yeah, the amount of inflation now is crazy. And for me to replace that Power 9, for instance, the last time I looked, which has probably been 10 years, to replace that at that point was going to be like 10 or 11 grand. And that's when I decided proxies were okay for casual games. Yeah, okay. I like it. I think we can do this. I'm kind of feeling it. This really should be the you gain a life when this comes into play, but this account doesn't have that card, so it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Boom, blue fairies. We're gonna lose because all their stuff flies probably faster than we can gain life. That's okay, we're gonna try. Ninja! Get in for one. Happy days. So I guess we could binding something. Like one of his ninjutsu enablers, that could be cool. Like, he can swing Ninja Boy, I'm not gonna block that. Oh, look at you doing unfortunate things that make me sad. Ninjutsu means, well, it's another alternative casting cost. And if a creature goes unblocked and you have a ninjutsu creature in your hand, you can play the ninjutsu cost, return the unblocked creature to your hand, and replace it with the ninjutsu creature. And most of them have cool, when they deal combat damage clauses. Do I want to trade that for a Lantern Bearer? I don't know. Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea, but they're not going to take that trade. Well, they did. What do you know? All right, next turn we get to double creature. He doesn't have activated abilities. I wasn't going to block or attack with him. So, okay. You gonna ninja? I think he's gonna ninja, boys. Yes. Yeah, I can't think of his name right now, but he is from Kamigawa. So he is not only a ninja, but he's the only planeswalker in the party to Duskmourn. And I think he either still leads or used to lead the Ninja Clan. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. Kaito, yes, thank you. I don't know why I could not use the words. This is where he finds out that Impassioned Orator is a triggered ability and not an activated ability. Well, that is a loss. Alright, I guess they feel like they had beaten my tail hard enough on that. We stuck it out long enough to win on Sympathy. Oh, and a good card. Very good card. Like that a lot. One of the best Golgari rares, I think, in Standard right now. And there's several good ones, so that's kind of saying something. El Sueño. I have no idea what that means, so I apologize if I just said something dirty. I cannot have two coming to play tap lands. That's much better. Sure, that's a keepable hand. We will keepy. Yeah, that is a small knowledge pool, but that's okay. Like, events like this will expose you to a lot of stuff, and you'll find things and you go, oh, hey, that's a really cool thing. I should build that deck, or I should play around with that, or whatever. I always suggest people play midweek Magic because, I mean, forget the experience and the exposure that you get from it. Just getting 2 wins gets you 2 free rare cards. That's like 2 days of average grinding to get 2 packs. Because after a certain point, packs are really only providing you with rares. We will show them our passion in the form of an orator. Yay. Oh yeah, you can always build cheat decks. CC is definitely right about that. I used to crush Friday Night Magics back in the early 2000s with decks that cost like $20. Well, they did not give me a target there, so... The bad thing here is I cannot draw a land and a 2-drop, which is what I would really like to do, but that unfortunately is not how Magic works. I'm missing out on a point of damage here, but I think it's worth it. Impassioned Orator already has too much of a target on his back, so spreading the love a little bit seems like the way to go. Man, they're just all over some card draw. And I have 2 pieces of removal in hand, so when they do finally find what they're looking for, we're going to be able to deal with it. That's pretty cool. Alright, 7 there with 2 pieces of removal in hand. Feels pretty good. Not gonna lie. Hey man, Arena is really good if you can play it as a free-to-play player. You know, the fact that you can't sell your cards and stuff like that, that obviously is a disincentive to actually spend money. Yeah, the rare lands are definitely some different design space. So I think we makeshift binding. Oh, okay, they're trying to do Goblin Storm, I think. This might be lethal if they don't block. I don't know. That would involve math. I'm more of a fling it, see what happens kind of guy. Well, it turns out it was lethal if they didn't block. So if they did block, they actually could have lived, but they'd have been, I think, at 1. Alright, what we get? Thousand Moon Smithy. Okay. That is a card I have not played with. But hey, look at that. It's almost 2 hours on this bad boy, but that's okay because we won 6 rares with decks that you can pretty much build from your starter collection, and I think that's okay. Like I said, we did a full mini deck tech on each one of these. Full mini, I don't know. What does that mean? It's a simplified deck tech explanation of how to build any of these decks out of whatever you have in your collection. It's the kind of thing we do about every week with Midweek Magic to try and make it accessible for everyone, because not everyone keeps up with the Pauper format or has ever built a Pauper deck before or whatever. So if you need a little help on that, definitely check out the Midweek Magic video. It's only like a 10 or 12 minute video. It's pretty quick, especially since it's covering 3 different decks. If you didn't catch this from the beginning, it is going to be available as an on-demand replay on the live section of my YouTube channel in just a few minutes. And you can always check that out there. As always, thank you everyone for coming. Believe it or not, like 14, 15 viewers is one of the larger live streams that I've done, because I've only been doing it like a month and a half or so. So thank you. It means so much more than you ever know. And really, really appreciate it. I will be on tomorrow and Thursday. Obviously, I won't be playing Midweek Magic because I played all 3 accounts tonight. But we will probably do some Bloomborough deck testing. Some of those very budget-friendly decks that I put out in the budget tier list. What was that, like 2 weeks ago? So if you want to check out some of those decks, check me out over on Twitch, 11 a.m. Eastern. And if you can't make that time, those files are available on demand for a week or 2 weeks. I'm not sure at the moment how that's working. But anyway, it will be available on there for a little bit. That's going to be on Twitch for Wednesday and Thursday. So far, I really only live stream YouTube on Tuesday night for Midweek Magic. But hey, when I get turnout and engagement like this, maybe that needs to change. That gives me something to think about. But